Another one of the games of the week, Sunday afternoon, 4:25. I think it's only a 3-game slate in the 4 o'clock window this week. Cowboys at the Broncos. Cowboys at 3-3-1. Denver at 5-2 coming off the miracle against the Giants last week. They've now had 2 miracles against the NFC East. Denver. They've outscored the NFC East like 48-7 in the fourth quarter. So if you want to factor that in against the NFC East Cowboys, I know that's relevant. Denver's favored by 3.5 here, over under 50.5 from our friends at FanDuel.
Yeah. I mean, look, the fourth quarters have been spectacular. I am, however, quite concerned about the first 3 quarters in recent times. Nick Wright was on a show, I think, saying, like, they've barely scored more than a point a quarter in the first 3 quarters in the last 3 weeks, and yet they're 3-0. Like,
I don't know what that is.
Right. So, but that's an issue. I mean, that you can't just sort of go, well, they've been winning, they're 3-0, so therefore it doesn't matter. I mean, this offense for most of the last 3 games has been terrible, and then catches fire late in the game, which has to, I mean, you have to at least factor in that in order for that to happen, the opponent needs to collapse as well. The offense needs to get it together pretty quickly if this team wants to be like a legitimate contender at the end of the season.
Yeah, there's a lot of fascinating matchups in this one. Obviously, Denver's offense needs to be better. Then you have Dallas's offense, which has been outstanding with Dak. The run game has been great outside of 1 or 2 games. Dak's been incredible under pressure. You have Denver bringing pressure at a higher rate than any team in the NFL by a wide margin. Mm-hmm. You have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens going up against these Denver corners. And to me, the Denver success always comes down to pretty much avoiding Patrick Surtain as much as possible. And what happens on the other side? Well, Dallas has those answers, right? Wherever Surtain is, you have a George Pickens or you have a CeeDee Lamb on the other side. So matchup-wise, this is going to be a good one.
I'm starting to feel kind of sorry for Riley Moss because I think he's actually quite a good corner, and yet that dude gets picked on just because he's not Patrick Surtain. And quite a lot of times at the catch point, he's not even losing necessarily. I mean, he got hosed last week with the ridiculous defensive pass interference call, but that's a classic example of like, oh, where's Surtain? Over there, the ball's going that way at Riley Moss. And then even with good coverage, they're like, flag, Riley Moss gets penalized. So he's just getting, and with Dallas having both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, like whoever the number 2 is still a pretty tough assignment for poor old Riley.
I mean, that's been the story over the last couple of years, isn't it? He gets attacked, and in this game, like he's got a tough assignment.
Yeah,
no matter
whoever it is,
no matter who he's got to cover. So I'm not saying this is the only important part of this game, but it's the most intriguing. I still think Dak is playing at such a high level in what's been an uneven situation. I'm not saying it's pure difficult, but the offensive line turnover throughout the season, they're at least getting healthier now and back closer to where they should be, and not having CeeDee Lamb for a few weeks and now having him back. I mean, if Dallas's offense has been outstanding, they just need to get their defense to play a little bit better. Just need a few more stops from the defense, and they've gotten that at times now in the last couple of weeks.
You know the way the Dallas Cowboys have got like a long history now of postseason futility. You got the 90s Super Bowls where Dallas was everything, and then since then, not so much. You know what they also have?
What?
Basically the same streak of futility against the Denver Broncos. You know when the last time the Dallas Cowboys beat the Denver Broncos it was?
The Super Bowl in the 70s?
1995.
Oh, wow. Super Bowl champion Cowboys.
It's 7 straight L's against the Denver Broncos for Dallas.
Uncle Anthony definitely knew that line back then. He had Dallas that day.
Yeah.
Against Denver. Yeah. This was they played in I don't know 70s Super Bowls that well. I know 80s and beyond. They played in one of the Super Bowls in the 70s, right?
Dallas
and Denver.
Oh, sure.
Which Super Bowl was it?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? I thought you were.
No.
I thought you were a history major.
I'll give you.
You didn't learn that?
But we didn't study that.
Oh, you should have.
I'll give you one more data point.
Give me another stat. Does it matter that Dallas hasn't beaten Denver since 95? Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action.
So the last time they beat Denver, 1995, Dallas wins the Super Bowl. The last time they beat Denver on the road, 1992.
Dallas wins the Super Bowl. Oh,
So if Dallas wins this game,
I mean, look, a high-level analysis here. If Dallas can win, going to Santa Clara, Super Bowl 60. It's locked in.
it's basically written in the stars already.
Dallas, what was the report too? They're looking for some defensive help here.
Yeah, Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys, are in the market for an impact defensive player and apparently calling teams, according to Jeremy Fowler. On the hunt, quote unquote, for an impact defensive player and have reached out to teams throughout the league.
Are we all?
I wonder why they're missing an impact defensive player.
This is the biggest game in the NFL this season. If Dallas can win, Super Bowl champs. Or at least go into the Super Bowl.
Look, the Cowboys are fascinating. So this offense has been cooking all the way through the season. The defense has been absolute hot garbage for most of the season, and then last week was pretty good. Now, was that a random game, or can this? Because you've been saying it for the whole way through. Like, there's no way it could be this bad. They cannot be a historically terrible defense with the talent that is remaining, even if they are missing an impact defensive player. Like, they can't be as bad as they've been for the first few. And for the first time last week, that was true. Now, does that continue against an offense that's been struggling for a lot of the time? Because if Dallas's defense just gets average, passable, then the way Dak Prescott is playing, which is absolutely out of this world, by the way, like, he's probably not getting full credit. And even me, I'm like, Drake May is the guy playing the best football in the league at the moment. Chiefs fans were butthurt that I didn't say Mahomes. But actually, the other guy is Dak Prescott. He has got an outstanding PFF grade. His pressure to sack rate is like single digits, not double digits.
And he's been under incredible pressure.
Exactly. He's doing it with an offensive line that's been hemorrhaging pressure. Dak Prescott's not usually one of the quarterbacks with a pristine turnover-worthy play rate. He is this year. He's insane. Prescott is having, a couple of years ago he had that season that statistically looked like the MVP, only he didn't have the signature games. It was against bad teams, all those kinds of things. He's doing it again. He's having a year that's looking like MVP, and this time some of the touchy-feely stuff or the hidden context is working in his favor. It's like, hey, he's doing this with an offensive line that's not good.
Yeah, and he's played some bad teams in there as well. But in that 23 season, I remember pulling out his PFF grades against losing teams. It was like a 90. Against winning teams, it was like a 73. And it's one of those like, it wasn't just narrative. Like the Cowboys laid an egg, and when they played Buffalo, when they played San Francisco on primetime, like when they played all of the good teams that year. But this year, going head-to-head with the Eagles in Week 1, putting up 40 to beat the Giants in Week 2, and the defense kept trying to blow it. Just putting up 40 against a Packers defense that was playing elite through 3 weeks. The way he did that to even just pull out a tie. Again, when I hear the value thing, the worse your teammates are, and if you're putting your team in position to succeed and they keep blowing it for you, that feels like you're adding more value because the rest of your team is adding less value, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where Dak is right now. Can he keep it up? I don't know, because the analyst in me says when you're doing something at the best you've ever done it,
right?
The one story is good for you. You're doing it the best you've ever done it. We're describing what you've done, say through 7 weeks. The other side of it is, well, you've never done it at this level. Regression and that stuff is real as well. But if Dak keeps this up, this is the best stretch of play I think he's had. And he has these 2 receivers that are playing an extremely high. We know what CeeDee Lamb can do. Pickens probably playing the best football of his career. And if the defense just gets better, Dallas is going to be dangerous.
Most outliers, come back to the pack over the course of time. That's just what happens. But every now and again, an outlier remains an outlier, and those are the incredible seasons.
So the Denver defense against Dallas is going to be outstanding. Nick Bonito, Tyler Guyton. There's a lot there. There's a lot to see there. And the other thing about Dak playing great under pressure, I love describing that and giving him credit. We also know that that's really volatile, right? If you have one game where you're under pressure and you heave a couple up for picks and you get sacked 5 times, like that's in the range of outcomes too, even though you've been playing great under pressure. It's going to be tough to sustain. And then Denver just has to find a way to play better early, right? To play better across the 4 quarters. Because in desperation mode, when Bo Nix is scrambling and they're dialing up QB sweeps and he's throwing it up to Marvin Mims, who's making big plays, and Cortland Sutton. That's all good stuff. They just have to do it throughout the game. I think they're capable. I think they've shown capable with Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, and Cortland Sutton to make those plays. And against, the Dallas secondary's been awful. I mean, everything about their back seven's been awful, even though they can creep back toward average over these next few weeks. Denver should have some opportunities to make some plays down the field in this one.
No, they should. And those have been there. I mean, as much as the offense has been rough for a lot of that stretch of time, like we keep talking about the Bover throws, the passes are there. I mean, It's not like this offense just has nothing for 3 quarters and then all of a sudden catches fire. Like, the passes are there, and Bo Nix is not hitting them for a lot of this period.
All right, man. You want to make picks on this one?
Sure.
It's Denver by 3.5. Where are you going to go?
I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys, I think. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I also took Dallas. I typed in my picks earlier. I'm going to go with whatever instincts I did when I put my picks in. I'll take Dallas. And Harry is going to take Denver here.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?